So I want us to zoom out real quick. And I want you to just think about disruption and what it takes to achieve the disruption that changes the way an entire industry is perceived and operates. What is it? Is it new technology? Is it change to regulatory guidelines? Is it market conditions or innovative solution architecture that maybe wasn't there before? Well, in most cases, it is actually a combination of all these things. And if you study businesses that have been able to achieve this kind of disruption at scale, you'll notice that they all had one similar defining characteristic. And that was that they all had products or services that unlocked value that was otherwise inaccessible, and then provided that value to billions of people around the world. Now, you'll see a couple of examples go on behind me about companies who have done this, but I'm not here today to talk about how these companies achieve disruption. I'm here today to talk about how you can be part of the next company. So, like every other business, we started with a challenge, right? A hurdle, something we were really trying to overcome. And as a former insurance producer, the challenge that I wanted to solve was the inaccessibility a policyholder has to the liquidity within their permanent policy. And if you look at insurtech development over the last 10 years, you'll notice that very little has been developed to address the consumer's needs post policy delivery. And as we really dove into insurance carriers' business models, we quickly learned why. Which brought us to our bigger challenge. Market volatility over the last decade, combined with rising interest rates, has created a situation where liquidity demands could outpace revenue generated from new policies. And if this happens, the long-term viability of an insurance carrier's business could become riskier over time and even diminish. But to us, that wasn't the answer. There had to be an answer for this. And so my team and I, we went to the whiteboard, and we quickly learned that we needed three things to make this work. We needed a liquidity provider separate from the insurance company. We needed technology to verify that policy and its ownership. And then we needed an innovative product to tie it all together to market to the next generation consumer that would resonate with them. And when we tied all that together, we landed on a credit card product, V-Card. Now, because you're an insurance carrier or a decision maker for a carrier, you were probably ready to laugh me out of the room right now. You're thinking, Jake, that's fine, it's great technology, but we're an insurance company. We do not do payments. They are too risky. But we don't ask you to do anything but show up. You see, with the help of our BIN sponsor and our program manager, we bring to you a fully compliant liquidity solution to utilize to not only keep more assets under your management, but service the liquidity needs of your customers willingly because you're able to. I mean, think about that. You get to build loyalty, create transparency, and really increase the value of your customer long term without inheriting any of the risk that comes along with it. Now, I can imagine that that's probably not enough. So let me tell you about a few more ways that we help your business. Number one, we allow you to expand into markets never delved into by insurance companies. Because you offer a real-time liquidity product with access to the premiums being paid in a matter of years instead of decades, you become a viable option for anyone looking to invest money in a tax-free retirement vehicle. Plus, you can outperform the IRA or other investment apps that are in this space because you have the benefit of insurance on the side. Number two, we give you insight that help you learn who your customer is and better help them along their entire journey. For instance, right now, you know exactly who your customer is when you write that policy because you've done your due diligence and dove in to who they are throughout the underwriting process. But what about 20 years into that policy? You have no idea where they're at on their journey or what they've had to overcome, and we provide you the insight that allows you to understand that. And in doing so, create a much, much better long-term customer value where there's trust and honesty and transparency on both sides for all stakeholders in the value chain. We increase your revenue. So you see, because we're a credit card, we introduce a new stream of revenue that's never really been entertained or captured by the insurance industry. And because our carrier partners are out here distributing this card at mass, we reward them with basis points derived from each transaction once certain spend thresholds are met. And last, but certainly not least, we touched on it a little bit earlier, is the asset liability management and long-term viability of our carrier partners' businesses. You see, to put it simply, I want you to imagine your model and your actuary tables the way they currently stand over the next 30 years. Now, imagine taking everything in that model that is a living benefit payout to a policyholder and moving that back into the assets under management for 30 years. And tell me what your balance sheet looks like when you compare the two. So in conclusion, we've touched on how you can expand your market to new horizons and market to a much younger demographic. We've talked about how we can keep you compliant and how you can gain insight and better understand your customer and provide them an enhanced experience. We've also talked about your revenue and how we can better help you manage your assets. So now the only question I have for you is, why wait? We are here and we are ready, and together we can usher in a new era of life insurance that is the powerhouse of financial services. Thank you for your time.